Good afternoon, everyone. This is Anthony, Wall Street Trader. It's 4:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, September 21st, 2021. Okay, this is not financial advice. The video is intended for educational purposes only. Click the subscribe and the bell if you want to be notified of these videos. Click the thumbs up. Share the video with your friends who are into crypto. We're talking about Nucypher here. Intraday updates are on the Twitter link below the video if you want to get access to my intraday updates. Let's go forward into Nucypher US dollar. But before we get into all that jazz, why don't we just get straight into this? First and foremost, there's been a couple of things going on related to apparently some meeting of the minds, and clearly something where Nucypher and the Keep folks are getting together to talk about the fact this is a first known example of community-driven protocol. It's M&A, they call it, which is in stock terms, mergers and acquisitions. I wouldn't exactly call it a merger, call it a joint venture, but nonetheless, the network is owned by both companies. Now, what's important about this is that they even got a little bit of tweeting going out by Masari, which is a pretty big crypto publication out there, plus research and other things related to market data and reference data for cryptos. So interesting to note here. I'll put the link on the Twitter below the video so you could also get access to some of the information about that meeting today. Let's move into something else, which is the markets. Now the markets are not looking terrible. Look, we're at 2685. Again, guys and gals, just take a seat back. It's a breather. This is what happens in the markets at times. So we're still kind of, like I mentioned yesterday, we're going to have a little bit of volatility over the next several days, possibly up to 2 weeks. And maybe even more than that. But right now, I think we're going to probably have some volatility between now and the next couple of weeks. Right now, we're kind of like right over this top, what was once resistance, now support. So it's just kind of hugging that. We had also talked about if it went below that, it might hit 25, and below that, it could go as far as 23 and change. I don't think it'll go down that far, but, we just need one real bad day, and it could get there in a heartbeat. So, got to keep your eyes open on this stuff. In the meantime, going over to Nucypher Bitcoin, we are close to, we've certainly broken this line of support here. And I think on the last video yesterday, we talked about possibly hitting 600 on the downside. That would be an 8% or so drop. That 8% or so drop would be significant enough to get us possibly down into the 23, 24 range. So, again, we just have to keep our eyes on all of this. But in the meantime, let's just take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing exactly what Bitcoin does. It scares the hell out of all of us, and then it finally breaks out again. So I think that's where we're at right now. I believe that Bitcoin will recover from this, and I don't think that we're far away. I think we're a couple of weeks away from a resolve. I'm going to keep these up here. Nothing's certain here, but if you look at the downside action over here, and then you look back in the June timeframe when we had that same thing, we kind of recovered a bit and then bounced sharply back down. And we're doing the same exact thing. We went all the way, I'm going to zoom in here. Went all the way down, bounced up, and kind of like not as far down. So I think I feel like we're exactly repeating it. I'm going to probably have to do a side-by-side comparison of this and get this out on Twitter because I think it's important for people to see. Now let's go over to Bitcoin dominance. We are still escaping this downward channel. Escape velocity is about the same. The slope down is almost the absolute value of the slope up. So I think that we're going to be in for a little bit more of strength in Bitcoin until we get through a little bit of uncertainty in the market. So, we'll keep our eye on this here as well. But as far as right now is concerned, I think, again, the next week or two, pretty choppy, up and down, left and right. So just stay tuned on that. And again, low points here. If you're looking to buy and you want a real tasty trade where it's screaming, the screaming buy could be a 23, a 24. Look, long term, if you're a long-term investor, you don't have to worry about this stuff. I'm in for the long term. I'm hoping this continues on its way up. I expect it fully to resolve itself over, starting in a couple of weeks from now. Again, we've got a few months in before I think the Web 3.0 ecosystem and all the cryptos related to it will take off. So anyway, everyone stay safe. Take care.